They work on the other side of the world, but Canadian Rangers have been discovering just how much they have in common with the Territory's Norforce troops. The Rangers swapped the snowfields of Canada for the top end of the Northern Territory in an unusual exchange program. Louisa Rebgetz reports.
Contact! Go, go, go! Break left, break left!
It's a cultural exchange with a difference. These Canadian Rangers are being put through their paces in the Top End's hot, dry training grounds.
We're doing an exchange with the Norforce, and so we're bringing Canadian Rangers over here to see how the Norforce do their business.
Cutting!
It's very enlightening to see that they're doing the same things that we do at home.
Contact front!
24 members of the Canadian Ranger Patrol Group are here to learn from Australia's Norforce troops.
Go, 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 go!
I believe it is the first time it has been arranged, and at this point in time it's been extremely positive.
The Top End bush is a world away from the snowfields of Canada that the Rangers are used to patrolling. But both forces do a uniquely similar job, working in remote, isolated homelands in the northernmost parts of their countries.
We know the local area of our land, and sometimes the regular force usually comes around for training, so we show them where to go and what to do.
The Canadian Rangers provide an extremely important aspect of Canada's sovereignty. In that, they live in locations where no one else lives. The Canadian military has a responsibility to provide safety and security throughout Canada, and the Canadian Rangers allow the military to do that by using locals and training them, and how to interact. So it's extremely important because there is no one else up in these remote areas of Canada, just like there is no one else in these remote areas of Australia who live and work and know these areas.
Oh, they've told us a fair bit, like they go patrolling in the snow, cold weather.
Hot, really hot. I went running for 10 minutes. Like back home I can run for 2 hours, and over here I ran 10 minutes and it's humid, and I just dropped down and walked through the shower and just put on cold. Stayed there for a while.
The origins of the two forces are also uniquely similar. The Australian military called on Indigenous Australians in 1942 when an invasion from Asia looked imminent. They were known as the Nakaroos and acted as guides for the military. The role of the Canadian Ranger was also created around the same time.
In the Second World War, they created an organisation called the Pacific Coast Militia Rangers to basically be a coastal defence force.
Yeah, battery cache.
One of our commanding officers' key three priorities is Indigenous capacity building and raising patrols in remote areas made out of the Indigenous and local members, because they have skills, survival skills, bushcraft skills, and local knowledge that we can't hope to compete with.
That way.
Okay, good.
Canadian Yancey Wood and Norforce's private Jordan O'Brien Ross are in the middle of a tracking exercise in remote bushland.
Asylum stick. Learning how to track, doing all that stuff, sign, movement and all that stuff.
While tracking is used in both countries, this exercise is helping the two forces share their unique knowledge.
Every little piece of debris, whatever, sign that you see tells a story. That story tells you who it is, what it is, where they're going.
The amazing thing is we're halfway around the world and you find out almost all the similarities. Soldiers are soldiers, and people that live in remote areas live in remote areas. It might be plus 40 here in some of their areas, and it's minus 40 in Canada in some of our areas, but the way they live off the land is very similar.
The push for greater Indigenous participation is an ongoing challenge in the Australian military. Norforce says education is the biggest hurdle to increasing its 30% Indigenous participation rate. Numeracy and literacy rates are generally poorer in remote Indigenous communities, and recruits must meet the educational standards of Army reservists. The Canadian Rangers have a larger Indigenous force, which it says is the result of flexibility in the recruitment process.
There are more leeways. It allows us to bring in good people for the skill sets we're looking for. We're looking for people that have outdoor skill sets, that live off the land or can go out and they hunt, they trap, they do that type of thing.
Yep, roger, refurbish.
Captain Buzz Sarlin was born in America but is now an Australian soldier. He's in charge of hosting the exchange and he's hoping it will be a long-term relationship.
What we're really hoping is that this is actually going to be the start of exchanges both ways, where we might send our champion patrol from our annual patrol competition might actually win a chance to go over to Canada to experience the sort of things in Canada, the winter, the cold, polar bears, that these Canadian Rangers have experienced since they've been here, looking at the exact opposite, surviving in the bush, the heat, crocodiles, that sort of thing.
I've learned a lot. I've talked to some extremely interesting people. It just shows that so many things are equal. We have the same problems, we have the same ambitions, the same communities.
Just because you're a different nationality or a different cultural background, you're still the green skin.